Have you ever stopped to think that the greatest act of love in history began with a kiss of betrayal? In the next few hours, we're going to walk through together. An innocent man was betrayed, abandoned, illegally tried 6 times, scourged with an instrument that tore chunks of flesh from his body, had a crown of thorns driven into his skull, carried his own cross, was nailed alive, and still asked forgiveness for those who were killing him. But here's what few people understand. Every drop of blood, every blow, every humiliation had an eternal purpose. Today, as a Bible scholar and pastor, I'm going to reveal historical and theological details that will transform the way you see the cross. Prepare your heart, because this isn't just a story of suffering, it's the greatest demonstration of love the world has ever seen. Gethsemane, the agony of the soul. We're at the Jewish Passover, around 30 AD. Jesus has just celebrated the Last Supper and goes to the Garden of Gethsemane, an olive grove on the Mount of Olives. The name Gethsemane means olive press, and what profound symbolism. It's there that Jesus would be pressed under the weight of humanity's sins. The unique agony, Luke 22:44. His sweat became like drops of blood. Medical explanation, hematidrosis, a rare condition caused by extreme stress where capillaries rupture. Theological significance. Jesus wasn't afraid of physical death, but of spiritual separation from the Father as he bore our sins. 2 Corinthians 5. Judas' betrayal. The kiss, a prearranged signal with the guards. Matthew 26:30. Pieces of silver. The price of a slave killed by an ox. Exodus 21. Prophetic fulfillment of Zechariah 11. Powerful detail. Jesus calls Judas friend, even in the moment of betrayal. Matthew 26. The illegal trials. The illegality under Jewish law. Jesus went through 6 trials in less than 12 hours, 3 religious and 3 civil, and every single one violated the very law his accusers claimed to uphold. Religious trial, Sanhedrin, Annas, John 18, former high priest, Caiaphas's father-in-law Caiaphas, Matthew 26, official high priest, full Sanhedrin, Matthew 27, council at dawn, illegalities committed, nighttime trials were forbidden, trials on feast days, Passover, were forbidden. They lacked 2 agreeing witnesses. The accused couldn't be forced to testify against himself. Death sentences couldn't be given on the same day. Civil trial, Roman Pilate. First time, John 18. I find no fault in him. Herod Antipas, Luke 23, mocked but didn't condemn Pilate. Second time, John 19, gave in to pressure Pilate's testimony. 3 times, Pilate declared, I find no fault in him. A Roman governor, a pagan, recognized the innocence that the religious leaders denied. The Roman scourging. The historical brutality. The Roman flagellum wasn't a simple whip. It was a torture instrument with multiple leather straps, each with pieces of bone, metal, or glass at the tips. Medical details, 39 lashes, Deuteronomy 25:1, less than 40, tore away skin, muscles, exposed bones, and internal organs. Many died from the scourging alone. Isaiah 52 prophesied 700 years before. His appearance was so disfigured beyond that of any man. The crown of thorns. These weren't small thorns, probably from the Ziziphus spinacristi plant, up to 2 inches, placed in mockery. King of the Jews. Symbolism. The curse of Genesis 3, thorns the ground will produce. Now upon his head, the Via Dolorosa, the way of the cross. Approximately 2,000 feet from the Praetorium to Golgotha, for a healthy man 10 minutes, for Jesus an eternity of agony. The cross weight, 130 pounds, just the crossbeam, patibulum. He'd already lost a massive amount of blood. Simon of Cyrene had to help. Mark 15, the women of Jerusalem. Jesus, in the midst of pain, comforts other people. Luke 23. Pastoral lesson. Even in extreme suffering, Jesus thought of others. The crucifixion, the cruelest method. Crucifixion was invented by the Persians, perfected by the Romans as the most humiliating and painful method of execution. Medical process of death. Nails through the wrists, not palms, and feet. Gradual asphyxiation. To breathe, he had to push up on the nails in his feet. Hours of agony. Death by asphyxiation, blood loss, hypovolemic shock. The 7 words from the cross. 1. Father, forgive them. Luke 23. First word, forgiveness, praying for his executioners. 2. Today you will be with me in paradise. Luke 23. To the repentant thief, salvation until the last moment. 3. Woman, behold your son. John 19. Caring for Mary, his mother. Family love even on the cross. 4. My God, why have you forsaken me? Matthew 27. The moment of separation, bearing our sins. Psalm 22:5. I thirst. John 19. Christ's humanity, prophetic fulfillment. Psalm 69:6. It is finished. John 19, tetelestai, Greek, paid in full, commercial term, debt fully satisfied, the work of redemption complete. 7. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Luke 23, voluntary death. John 10, final trust, the theological meaning. Why was so much suffering necessary? 1. God's holiness. God is perfectly holy. Isaiah 6. Sin demands punishment. Romans 6. 2. Penal substitution, Christ in our place. Isaiah 53. He was wounded for our transgressions. 3. The depth of love. By this we know love. 1 John 3. Love demonstrated in action. Romans 5. 4. The defeat of sin and death. Colossians 2:14. Cancelled the debt, disarmed principalities and powers. Let me ask you a question that will change everything. Do you realize that every lash had your name on it? Every drop of blood paid for your specific failures? When Jesus said, "It is finished," he wasn't just saying his life was over. He was declaring that your debt was paid in full. Tetelestai, it is paid. Nothing more to pay, nothing to add. He wasn't a victim, he was victorious. Isaiah 53 says, "It pleased the Lord to crush him," not because God is cruel, but because it was the only way for you and me to have direct access to the Father. Personal application, 3 truths to take from this message. Your sin is more serious than you think. It cost all of this. God's love is greater than you imagine. He paid all of this. Your salvation is complete. There's nothing to add. If you haven't yet surrendered your life to this Jesus who suffered for you, today is the day. Romans 10:9. If you confess with your mouth Jesus as Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. And if you're already a Christian, never again look at the cross as a mere religious symbol. It's the place where heaven and earth met, where justice and mercy kissed, where your name was written in blood. From betrayal to it is finished, every moment was out of love for you. Share this video with someone who needs to know Christ's love. Leave in the comments what touched your heart the most. And if this content blessed you, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next studies. God bless your life, and may the message of the cross never lose its power in your heart.